Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the days have, while not necessarily being been the best, they've also not been the worst days. So I guess if it's same crap, different day, that's not too bad of a too bad of an ordeal for right now.
Yeah.
How's the eye, Manny?
Well, everything's still kind of rough a little bit, but
Oh,
at least it got fixed. But the
yeah.
fact is that I had an eyelash that had grown in the other way. So every time I would wink, it would brush up against my eye. So
Ouch.
yeah.
Ouch.
And
That
every time,
sounds awful.
yeah. So they'll be fine, but annoying for sure.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get it started. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Cup of Genre here on the Genreverse Podcast Network and Genreverse YouTube channel. Please follow wherever you're listening at, like Google, Spotify, Apple, and if you're watching us on Facebook, Facebook. Why did I say Facebook? If you're watching us on
Facebook. Hello,
YouTube,
Tia.
if you're watching us on YouTube, please do hit that red subscribe button. Thank you to all now 803 subscribers. We're looking for 1,000 by Christmas, so it'd be great if you guys can hit that subscribe button for this show, Breaking Geek Radio, which is like long form version of this with movie or show reviews at the end. Anime-Versal Reviews, Marvel Multiverse Mayhem, the Cantina are doing Star Wars stuff. A lot of great content and reactions for you guys. I'm Kyle. That's Manny, and we were gone for a few days. I had an appointment, and then Manny had an eye issue, and tomorrow, unfortunately, we won't get to do Friday Frights because I will be preparing for a turn and burn flight to Los Angeles. I was invited to attend the One Piece film Red premiere at the TCL Chinese Theater, and yeah, I'm hoping to go rub some elbows with some Crunchyroll people and hopefully have good time, some fun, and enjoy the movie, and maybe make some contacts to abuse later for the purposes of content.
Sounds fun.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, so we'll talk to you guys today, and you got all the other content that'll still go up. I think we might have to adjust Spy Family's review and reaction, but besides that, it should be good to go. But one day we got a couple things. Manny wanted to talk about something, but I want to start off with the DC news that kind of happened this week. Manny, you all caught up on the hoopla from Warner Brothers Discovery in DC.
Yep.
So Hollywood Reporter a few days ago on the 17th released an exclusive saying the headline: DC at a turning point. James Gunn pitches secret movie. Please let it be magic related like Satana and them. Dwayne Johnson flexes his Superman power. There's stuff in here about, of course, the what did I just say? The Rock and Superman, but there's also the idea that he will be returning into what will essentially be Man of Steel 2. There's been a producer or director, I think, named, not like officially, but rumor wise, and then the fact that they're looking for writers, or maybe I got it the opposite. There's a writer and they're looking for a director. James Gunn's secret movie, like I said, I definitely have things that I would like to see. There's been even talk of the Flash 2, which no one quite knows what to make of that, and I don't think that one was in the Hollywood Reporters thing. But on top of that, we also have more stuff from Matt Reeves coming. Let's see, how did Cam write this up? Gunn and producer Peter Safran are in talks with Warner's for a mystery movie. Yeah, man. Also, Walter Hamada gone. No longer DC Films boss. This happened yesterday. It wasn't unexpected. As a matter of fact, a lot of people have been calling for this for a long time. What do you make of the news, Manny? Where do you want to start? The movies or Hamada?
I don't know. You tell me. Well, as far as Hamada goes, bye. You know, if
Tell
you
us
didn't
how
want
you
to be
really
part
feel,
of it,
Manny.
then you know, don't let the door hit you on the way out, and they're gonna have to figure it out. It's not like he did anything special for the DCEU that took it anywhere anyway. So you know, it's a kind of it's kind of right now over at Warner Brothers Discovery, the Wild Wild West for the DCEU, because really with no boss, no real direction, you have a lot of these very influential filmmakers coming over and really pressuring the studio to do things their way, which may actually work for the better. Like at the end of the day, if you go into a comic book shop, not everything is continuity, not everything is connected. What really matters is good storytelling. Good stories is what we want. It doesn't all have to fit together, you know,
unless you say it is. If you say it is, then it should.
Once you say it is, it's, you know, you're kind of
looking at you, Feige, right now. Anyways, carry on.
So it's actually I think it's a kind of cool time, because these influential filmmakers, because I think because they want to keep them, they're gonna get their ways. We've seen The Rock flex his muscle, literally.
Yeah.
At WB executives.
I want Cavill.
I want
Superman.
Cavill.
I want
I want Superman in my film. They filmed that in September. I want I want Shazam and Black Adam to have their own movies. Yeah. Now they're gonna be in the same movie. No, they're not. Okay, that's what we're doing then. and so who knows what other things he has in store, because I think when he says that the DC universe will never be the same, I literally think he meant that because he's had them make changes specifically going forward, and who knows, he's the type of guy who, of course, knows how to work the crowd, knows how to he knows how to, in a way, control people, you know, in an artistic way, in an entertainer way. So I think that in that sense it's a good thing, because who knows, I mean, they're even asking him questions like, is DC trying to catch up with Marvel? And he is point blank answering, giving good answers as if he is the current boss. Saying, I think he says something on the line, it's like, no, it'd be stupid to do that. We're doing things our own way. We have our own style. We and you know, he has a lot to say on subjects like that. And it's like, are you running things, Dwayne? Like, what's going on? And then on the other side, you have James Gunn also just coming in and was like, hey, this is kind of what I want to do, guys. I have this project and blah blah blah. And you're gonna tell James Gunn no? He's hit a couple of home runs already with his Suicide Squad and with his Peacemaker series.
He made the mouse back down from all his controversial comedy and stuff.
That's a very difficult thing to do. I remember the day he got fired.
Down.
He was supposed to be on stage in Hall H.
Yep.
And we were in a press room in San Diego. And we found out that he wasn't going to be making his appearance.
And then we found out why.
Yeah, something old.
I should say that it wasn't necessarily he that made them back down, but his contribution to the MCU created a love within the fans, and his way of filmmaking created enough love and loyalty with his cast and crew that enough fans and cast and crew said it's either him or none of us, either with him or you get none of us. And I mean, that's a pretty big deal. So
so there's all of that, and then lastly, I think just because of everything, probably all the rumblings going on, Matt Reeves is like, I'm also gonna start doing everything I can in my sandbox, and now he's talking about doing kind of spin-off things with some of the DC villains, which would be pretty cool. I think maybe
hopefully more than just the Penguin spinoff that they had already talked about. Hopefully
they're talking about the words that were thrown out is doing something with Killer Croc, Professor Pig, Clayface.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like an Arkham series or something like that. Something like that.
Yeah, Clayface specifically has a very, very interesting background. Because he you should watch. There's a couple of different versions of Clayface. One where he used to be a police officer, and then another one where he used to be an actor. Batman the Animated Series uses the one where he was an actor. It was just done very, very well. Anytime you want good storytelling as far as a DC Batman villain, Batman the Animated Series is the way to go. Yeah. I mean, Robin's Reckoning, where his family dies, is won an Emmy. And then you have Heart of Ice, which is the best Freeze story, and then the origins of Two-Face actually is done beautifully well through a variety of episodes, and so on and so on. Also, that is the birth of Harley Quinn, the beloved Harley Quinn, which Jim Lee calls the fourth pillar of DC. Well, I mean, you can't argue with that at this point.
Not even created in the comics, right? There in the animated series.
Paul, thank you, Paul D.
Became one of the most iconic characters of DC, so much so that many people don't even know she isn't from prior to the 90s. So yeah.
And yeah, so anywho, it's literally the wild west right now at DCEU. And whatever. I mean, we're moving forward. We got heck, we even got, like you said, the Flash 2 in the works kind of now, being mumbled and rumbled, and I've heard some names also of who they would want to replace Ezra Miller if they decide to go that route.
What names did you hear?
I don't remember. I just saw it. I just saw it. I just saw a few. I've seen a few.
Yeah.
But off the top of my head, I'm not gonna.
Who would you?
You know, I would put in Wally West.
Okay.
That would be my fix, because for a lot of people, that is their Flash, which is very strange to say, because most I would say current DC fans are very, very familiar with Barry Allen as their Flash, especially because of the CW show. Grant Gustin did such a great job for so many years as the Flash, to the point where some people are like, screw it, just put Grant Gustin as the Flash. He was never faster than the villain, which is a problem. You can't start off your episode saying I'm the fastest man alive and
never be
the fastest.
Never be the fastest.
So yeah, it's a very interesting time, but it all kind of stems off here and what we do with Black Adam, I think. And but then again, this movie has been in the works for years and years and years, and I think that making the small changes that they're doing with Black Adam, with whatever they're changing with the Flash, because they did reshoots, and they've done reshoots with other members of the league, and B with Ezra Miller himself. So very curious at what they're changing there, and obviously the addition of Batman in Aquaman.
Yep. Now I got a question, because I do want to get on to your thoughts on what a potential Superman sequel itself kind of means. But Deadline wrote in here, and I hadn't looked up projections yet. I wanted to do that. Originally I wanted to do that this week, today, but I had forgotten about it and all of the excitement about LA. Tracking for 135 million opening. Now I think I said 110. Do you remember what you said?
115. I think that's where I was.
115. Okay.
I think I was at I think high projections. I think we had talked about 130.
Yeah. You guys can find the video. It's here. Daily Cup of Genre. I think it was like last week we talked. What day is it?
It was like I think it was either Thursday or Friday of last week.
Yeah, something like that. Right? No, There it is, 6 days ago. So yeah, that would have been Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday last week, and The Rock teases Cavill's Superman and Black Adam. I think that's where we talked about it. So, what do you think? Do you think it'll fail to meet those projections? Do you think this type of news coming out this week boosts that up? Because I kind of think it boosts it up.
I think it did receive a boost. I'm telling you, that whole Cavill leak, whatever, it wasn't a leak.
It was orchestrated.
It was orchestrated. This is The Rock. This is The Rock playing the
weekend box. So it was last Monday. Weekend box office is low, like our Black Adam predictions. It was, I feel like it was almost like I watch wrestling. It's almost like a progression of a story where as you're getting closer to the reveal, something bigger is kind of revealed, something happens, and so now you're even more hyped for the match for that. They used to call them pay-per-views, they don't anymore, which is kind of weird still. Anyway, so I think that's what happened. It's I think recognizing that the name Black Adam and the thought of Black Adam has been around for so long now that, all right, we need a little extra flavor to generate interest. It's like, all right, then let's The Rock took it upon himself. Yeah, he probably even did it without even telling anyone, and that's probably because what are they gonna do to him? And so what could they do to him?
So on the red carpet, there he is all like, "I want to welcome back Henry Cavill to the DCEU," and everybody went, "Wait,
welcome
what?
Home. Wait, huh?"
And then everyone went, "Screw you, Grace Randolph. This is your fault."
Yeah. How dare you spoil stuff and things like that and whatever.
And then she's all like, "Wait a minute, he's the one who's in this case."
Yeah.
In this case, I was actually right, which was weird.
So what do you think about this idea? Like you said, you've got Batfleck showing up in Aquaman. You've got this stuff going on with the Flash. You now have Cavill welcome home and appearing in Black Adam. What do you think this means for the Snyderverse? Is it a soft, we're just working in what we want and cutting out what we don't? Yeah. Is it sticking with it? Does Zach what do you see in the future, especially for Man of Steel himself, Superman's next film?
I really think that this is one of those cases of the home network where Discovery is checking out the house, finding out that it does have really good bones. So why are we gonna
it's got awesome bones
and the foundation is still intact? So why are we gonna reinvent the wheel when it's already there? We just need to maybe tear down a wall or two, put some new paint on it, and despite it being similar to what it was before, there was a lot of great things that were working, and there were some things that didn't work. And a lot of and so,
but could you live with the fans if they call it the Snyderverse or say Snyder's stuff is still canon? Could you live with the Snyder?
Snyder fans? I tune them out. They are some of the most toxic people when it comes to fan base. It is the same. Marvel has the same people.
Yes,
the ones who can't see past.
It's anything. A Marvel thing, and it's the most best thing.
It's the greatest thing.
She-Hulk's a top 3 Marvel show.
Yeah, get the hell out of here. Nobody thinks that. As a matter, and so
Nick is a somebody, Manny. He is a somebody. Come on now.
Somebody I used to know. No,
we love you, Nick Dahl.
I'm not talking.
Nick
sometimes has really good. Awesome. Nick sometimes has really good takes on movies. His takes on Marvel specifically is what's really, really bad.
Yes.
And we just been giving crap for it. Yeah. No. I think it's fine. Because you don't have time to start over. So if you have everybody on board, why not? There's nothing necessarily wrong with Wonder Woman except letting Patty Jenkins take complete control.
God, oh God, that was just
number one,
Patty.
yeah. And I mean, you got rid of all the people that you wanted out, so bringing back Ray Fisher could be a thing. Because Hamada's gone
without apologies and admissions. I don't think he comes
well,
back.
everybody's gone and all of the other actors are back. So
I know. I'm just saying he seems like a pretty
I'm saying
there's
a chance to. I mean, he probably burned way too many bridges, but with this start, whatever, it could work, it could happen. I'm very excited that like Blue Beetle's still moving forward. We're still getting another Peacemaker. As far as I know, Static Shock is still in the works. Yeah. Which Michael B. Jordan is going to be even hotter after Creed 3. Yeah. As far as filmmaking, so you do not let that man go. If he wants to do a Static Shock movie, you let him make a Static Shock movie because that guy, he's really worked under like Ryan Coogler and people like that during his career, and now he's making his own movies. Creed 3 is going to be the best of the 3 movies, potentially. I think that trailer. So you know what that trailer told me? I was like, holy crap! Kang is going to beat the crap out of the Avengers.
Yeah,
like physically gonna beat the crap out of him. I don't know. Like it's funny. It's a Creed movie, and the first thing I think of is the Avengers are gonna lose. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I don't know, man. It's just a really weird, cool, fun time for DC, and the thing is that things are consistently being tweaked. And at the same time, these are all rumors and ideas and thoughts. None of it has actually been confirmed or anything. So we could be sitting here and conjuring all these ideas or whatever, and over in their offices, Zaslav and the rest of the groups are just haven't even looked at it.
Yeah,
which I doubt. Of course, that's a very extreme possibility. So yeah,
it's gonna be interesting to say the least. I think,
most movement we've seen in a while.
Yeah. And I think that's going to be like you said, a bit of a soft amalgamation of what was working in the Snyderverse, and I don't think they'll ever really discuss what is or isn't canon. Maybe for the first time in a while they'll just say, "Hey, enjoy the movie,"
and that's cool. That's cool.
And that could be. I said a long time ago, talking with Brian back before I even joined LRM. That DC came in too late, should never have bothered with trying to recreate the MCU style, and that they should have just had a whole bunch of individual movies and stuff wherever they could get the right contracts and rights to do duos or team ups, have at it, and then do a Justice League film where the whole premise is that you have a multiverse, and the Flash ran around and grabbed the best of each Earth that he could to form his new Justice League. Just do that. And they did it on TV, like you said. But literally, honestly, you could have done that for whenever you wanted a Justice League movie, so that way you can have some new character actors and some existing ones. And I don't know, man. I think they've really stumbled.
Honestly, thank God for Greg Berlanti and their team, because they filled in quite a bit of gaps when it comes to what fans wanted from the DC. I mean, was it perfect? Absolutely not. It was TV. It was on the CW, for Pete's sake. But I mean, we got we got King Shark. We got
Gorilla
Grodd. We had Black Lightning with some really great writing from Sam Akil. Supergirl. We did they even did the Krypton show, which wasn't that bad actually. And that gave us a pretty cool, actually the best version of Brainiac we've ever gotten. We really haven't gotten him, so whatever. And then just everything in between. The Arrow stuff was fantastic early on.
First 3 seasons of Flash was pretty solid.
Yeah, so I mean, as far as Legends of Tomorrow was fun. I think Constantine was marketed wrong, especially during its first run over at NBC. Who puts it on a Friday night, at 9:30? Like nobody's watching that, not because they don't want to, because they're not home. I I think that was the biggest issue
Or
with
the
that.
gaming.
So when it finally made it to Netflix, everybody was like, "This is great. Matt Ryan is fantastic." It's like, yeah, we know that. But now we're back to Keanu, who wasn't too bad.
It's a good. Constantine is a great movie. It's just not it's not a Hellblazer movie. But
right.
Anyways.
No, I agree with you. And so the TV side of things, hell, I'll even count Lucifer in there because he did make an appearance in the he even made an appearance in the crossover episodes, which was really cool because I loved Lucifer. I was so hooked with on his stuff. And then we even got like fan service as far as the Superman that everybody wanted but then didn't want but then wanted.
Brandon Rowe.
Yeah, I know you love those conundrums because
it's freaking hilarious and it infuriates me.
It's the same thing with the X-Men. It's the same thing with the X-Men now.
Yeah, and now there's some really dumb rumors out there, guys, from some really crappy sources. I wouldn't necessarily believe them, but I wouldn't be shocked if there were more Foxmen saved into the MCU.
And then we even got to see Kevin Conroy as a Kingdom Come type of Batman. So the TV side of things, I say bring some of those people back. Let's do something there because there's obviously a lot of value there. I just don't know. I mean, hell, Doom Patrol's still going strong. That's so fucking weird, and I love it so much. And then, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I did mean to say it, but I didn't mean to say that on air. Titan starts in a couple weeks. Again, I've always thought it was kind of wonky, but whatever, it gets the job done.
It's got its audience.
Yeah, and I can't talk too much crap about it because a good friend of mine actually is a writer on there, and so and that makes things a little awkward. And so it's good. We've had a good run. The issue was that there's a couple of things in the back which treated it like a hot potato. And the entire company was treated like a hot potato, and it kept on moving to owner. I think AT&T bit off way more than they can chew, and Zaslav has to deal with a lot of the debt and the business side of things, which unfortunately means he had to cut things. Was cutting Batgirl the right move? Absolutely not. It was a terrible move. You go cut other things, but if you would have been able to keep that and release it, you would have made people a little bit happier. But I would have done it in a very strange way where I would have told them I was going to cut it and then saved it because we're listening to you and we're going to give you what you want.
Gen up some support and
and it's like
build the buzz that way.
Kind of like the whole Sonic thing
man,
where
I love
kind of like with Sonic.
I would have done the exact same thing.
Yeah, the whole Sonic thing was this whole Sonic thing was genuine, but it's kind of the same thing where it's like, all right, they listened to us, now we're gonna go support this movie. And I would have done the same thing. It's like, yeah, we're gonna have to cut this for budget, and it's like, boo, like we hate you, and it's like, we heard you guys, so we're gonna bring this back, and we respect and love all our fans, so because of the clamor, here's Batgirl, and guess what, now everyone's gonna watch it because they're listening to us. And Brandon Fraser is such a hot commodity right now, especially with what he's doing with his film Whale, and just like people just love him, which I do too. Hey, he's Robot Man in Doom Patrol, and he'd be open to another Mummy movie, which I'm like, after what you guys did in China, no. But if you're gonna make something like the first one, okay, we could talk about
First one's a classic.
Oh,
love
yeah.
it. Great.
Anyway,
Great
I just kind of ranted for a bit. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's what the daily cog is for. Did you want to
soapbox?
Exactly. Did you want to transition into your topic or
we'll start with DCEU fans who we're not talking about Snyder fans, we're talking about DCEU fans who are very critical, ironically, of Rotten Tomatoes and their scores for Black Adam, which I don't understand if they kind of know how Rotten Tomato works, because Rotten Tomatoes takes individual reviews from sites all over who they've qualified as Rotten Tomatoes reviewers, and that's how they come up with their number. It's not a number that they come up by by themselves.
53% as of right now with 91 reviews. So keep going, Manny. I'm putting it up on the screen for everyone.
So let's start with that Rotten Tomatoes is not generating their own score. It's a combination of different sites.
I mean, you can go if you click on either audience or critic scores, you actually get where the review comes from, and you can read the full review on that outlet's website by clicking on it. So yeah, the one thing that Rotten Tomatoes can do and do is like Manny said, they verify who can review things and get their stuff put up on their website. But they can't. I don't see them skewing that much that far. Yeah. Carry on.
But one of their main criticisms, and to a certain degree, I agree with them, because I do believe it's a toxic culture. I'll read a couple of these that says, if Black Adam would have had a Marvel logo, it would at least have a 70% Rotten Tomato score. And it's like, even Love and Thunder was a 64, and I guarantee Black Adam isn't worse. And then it says BVS is rated at 29%, and it is a great comic book movie. I agree with that. I agree with Jammer.
No, it was awful.
The director's cut is very, very good.
Damn. So this is something I'll say. This is bull crap right here. Rafer Guzman. I'm sorry if I messed up the A sound in the first name, from Newsday. Top critic gave it a 0 out of 4. What movie? Do you know how like how bad something has to be for a 0 out of 4? Like I don't buy zeros like that. If the scale is a 1 to 10, I don't buy ones. There's very, very few movies, especially ones on this scale, that would ever score a 1 or 0. I mean, you're talking like B films, C films, even that right there.
The thing about it is, I never put any, regardless of how high or how low, I don't put value in Rotten Tomatoes numbers.
Not the raw number, no. I go to look at what's actually being said.
Right, and so here's the reason why, and kind of the point I was wanting to talk about is critics versus fans, or critics versus general audiences. Most slasher films are never getting anything higher than like a 60. They're like, but the thing is, they're not supposed to. They're supposed to be campy. They're supposed to be, what the genre is. But critics look at them with such a specific eye that they're never going to be that highly rated movie. Yeah. But you had a great time. But you had a great time in theaters.
The original Halloween got a 96. The 2007 Zombie got a 27. The 2018 Halloween got a 79, but that's a sequel and technically different. What else? Let's look at Scream. Because Scream 79, 70. What is more recent though? All of these are older ones, and those all tend to have bigger scores. What's some recent slashers?
A recent slasher?
That's not like a sequel. It doesn't matter. Carry on. Your point remains.
So my point is, screw what Rotten Tomatoes thinks, and this is in general. Like, I never buy the high ones either, because we've talked before where the initial reviews, and I don't know, there may be a thing where they pick favorable ones in the beginning for certain movies and then add the other ones later, because the only number that ever matters is the initial Rotten Tomatoes score to people.
Yeah.
But as the movie is being watched and reviewed through the first weeks of its release, those reviews are being added, and a lot of time those really high Marvel ones that you thought were like right at the top come down significantly.
They do.
I really always thought that was very sus.
Oh my god! Don't,
yeah.
12.
Well, I do have a 12-year-old.
That's true. My son's 9 and he says it too. Damn it.
So it's really interesting to think about, and and then it also the other reason I wanted to talk to you about it is because Andor, for example, is critically acclaimed.
And
it's
one's
beloved,
watching it.
And no one's watching it.
You all suck. I swear to God on my lives, the amount of people that just drooled over every freaking Rebels or Clone Wars reference in Mando, Boba Fett, and freaking Kenobi, and you guys are sitting here sleeping. You're sleeping on Andor, which is literally everything everyone I know over the age of about 25 to 30, over that age, has been dying for this right here. And because it doesn't have a bunch of freaking cameos in it, it is just because it doesn't sit there and tickle your cartoon fancy, you're sleeping on. Dude, go watch Andor. Of all the excuses I've heard, oh well, we all know Andor dies, so did freaking Kenobi.
Yeah.
And you guys ate that up. That garbage.
Kenobi was terrible.
Oh my god. Sorry.
No, that's the point. And so it kind of worries me going forward, because they're not going to make more series like Andor. What we're going to get is another Boba Fett,
another Kenobi and Boba Fett,
where it's mid-season, the Mando showing up with Grogu, and it's like, oh, the baby's back. And it's like, dude, like, first of all, he's not a baby. That's kind of a random thing to add. Second, it's just they're gonna keep making stuff like that, where and it's something you hate, and it's something that is now starting to raise my eyebrow, because She-Hulk had a million cameos in it, and that's really what it was, and people are loving it because they mentioned the word X-Men in it. You know, they eat that crap. If you take the Daredevil aspect out of it, like, no, not even tease it, like do you have that same support as you did in the beginning? If you don't have Wong in it,
no, you don't have it.
What do you have left? And so Spider-Man No Way Home, like, what do you have left without the extra Spider-Man?
Nothing really in that movie, and you actually remove part of what made Tom Holland's Spider-Man unique. You retcon that Uncle Ben's death meant nothing to him, and that basically Peter became Spider-Man because he was a nerdy kid that got powers, not that he learned a lesson. Even though even though you have that whole scene in Civil War where he's talking to Tony, he's like, you know, when you can do the things I can, but you don't, and then bad things happen, and it's very clear he's saying, I screwed up and got my uncle killed, and that's why I'm here. And then because you realize that some fans, not all, because again, guys, freaking Twitter is a tiny little bubble. There are 7 billion people on this planet. There are 340 million Americans, United States of America citizens, and people saying that they really wanted to see an Uncle Ben story, so you gave it via Aunt May. No, no, that was unnecessary. We didn't need it, and you cheapen his journey. You cheapen everything that he gave, the sacrifices he was willing to make in Infinity War, the sacrifices he was willing to make in Far From Home, the things that he was doing to try to save his friends, and I still love that that line with Happy where, you know, Happy's sewing him up, and he's like, you know, wincing in pain, and Happy's like, I thought you're like super tough or whatever. He's like, it doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt. Like, he's still a human, and there was so much good there. And yeah, without all the nostalgia stuff, what does No Way Home offer?
No, like without all the nostalgia stuff, what does Disney have? That's really the better question, because
nothing
because
anymore.
what are we doing? We're bringing back Pinocchio. We're bringing back Boba Fett. We're bringing back Mando and in Boba Fett, because that's what people want, because they want to see the baby again. Boba Fett without Mando showing up is horrendous as a series. He should have never had his own series. And Mando has had very good moments, yes, but a lot of it is just him walking around. I do like the space western aspect of it, but if you look at it, it's just big shots of him walking around.
Sometimes, yeah.
And
I've had to complain about the long lingering shots in a modern day.
Yeah, so and you know, you've had to bring back Cad Bane, which I'd love Cad Bane, so whatever. I was kind of happy to see him. And you're doing it with Marvel, and then you have finally, it's like, okay, cool, we got you guys on board. Here's this really great series called Andor. It's kind of, it is in the Star Wars universe, but it's kind of its own story. And people are like, where's baby? You know, where's the references at? Where's Darth Vader at? It's like, no, you guys, like, this isn't them. Like, you know, this isn't about them. This is about this character and these events that took place. We don't really. It's boring.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, I mean, I don't know what you guys want.
I will say this, you know, as far as audience like scores and the way audience see things versus critics, a long time ago, being a reviewer, being a critic took a lot more than spending some solid, not making light of it, but it took more than spending solid time on social media and making a name for yourself via your postings. It was a job for newspapers, specific magazines, and if you were lucky, you got some sort of local news stations, daytime talk position to be there, you know, what's playing at the theaters this weekend. But as time has gone on, us right here have become the people that can review these films in a professional setting, all through, like I said, hard work still, but relatively easier to access because anyone can start a blog or a YouTube channel. When you look at scores being so close, that kind of shows some of it. What I really see that's weird is when the scores are so vastly different. I see something getting high scores and from critics, and I wonder why. I wonder, are they doing it because of someone that's involved in the film? Are they doing it because they're afraid of backlash? Ghostbusters 2016, for example.
But we've seen that people have vendettas. For example, when Suicide Squad came out, we were looking at some of those reviews, and some people in their reviews were very highly critical of just James Gunn himself and not the film.
Yeah. I will say that as far as if you slap a Marvel label on it, as I've been scrolling on the screen, you get at least a 60. For the most part, they're not wrong. Eternal's got a 47. That's the lowest, below 60. And then I think the Inhumans got an 11. Everything else, Marvel's Iron Fist 37. Even Thor, Thor: The Dark World 66. First Cap got a 79. Incredible Hulk got a 67. So I mean, but why do people hate DC? Like what then, ladies and gentlemen, is the because it's not just like one critic, it's not just one small group of critics. What's the angle? Why don't they like DC?
No, I know that's a really good question. Um, and I'm not sure, but it's just interesting to see it kind of progress into like the Academy Awards,
Yeah.
because how many people actually watch those movies,
Not many.
right? And you know, you never heard of some of the movies that are honored there until the
Nope.
show itself,
Yeah.
or until, you know, those shows previous to um the award ceremony, the award season, or whatever. Like for example, I thought The Northman was a fantastic movie. I guess audiences didn't really feel the same way. Um, and it's the same. And I'm just very curious as to um, what's the difference? Where's the disparity in what critics are looking for versus audiences, and why do critics have to have their checklist and not see it for the genre that it is? Because what works in one style of filmmaking for a genre does not necessarily work for another. You cannot judge, in my opinion, a good old-fashioned horror movie with the drama, because they're very, very different. The way they need to be shot, the way obviously they need to be different, but I just it's interesting to see. And then you see something like Ando, for example, where it's like high critics, very low public opinion, and then vice versa, up and down. Man,
I hate the world.
We yeah, and the problem is that the studios are looking at this data, and what are they gonna do? They're gonna give you more Grogu. They're gonna give you more cameos.
I've
They're
said,
gonna give you more.
When you go, oh, just accept it for what it is, Janet, Jonesy. Looking at you, Breaking Geek fans over there. When you say all the time, just accept something for what it is, eventually they just keep giving you lower and lower quality stuff. Why? Because it costs less. It costs less in effects. It costs less in hiring big name writers and things like that. It costs less in QC, quality assurance and quality control, editing, all of that, because you're willing to go, oh, well, it wasn't meant to be a $300 million studio movie. It's okay. It's okay. Oh God. Oh,
Is a good example. The Joker sits on Rotten Tomatoes at 68% from critics. Audiences are almost right there at a 90%, 88%. And so, and it's one of the most. It's very, very. The sequel now with Lady Gaga is highly anticipated. Everybody wants to see the direction it's going to go in.
I don't want to see. I have no interest in. I hate musicals though, and I do not give two shits about Lady Gaga.
She's a great actress. She was fantastic in what's that movie called?
The 1000th version of Stars Born. I think
no,
it was the
not Stars Born.
1032nd version of a Stars.
No,
Born.
no, it was shoot.
American Horror Story.
No, I hated that season. Jesus, Hotel was the one. That was one of my least favorite seasons of.
See, like I said, I have nothing
House of
for
Gucci.
her.
That's it was.
Oh,
she was really good in
that one.
Yeah, that was a really good movie. Yeah, so I don't know, man. I think the takeaway is we hate the world. We hate people.
Pretty much.
And
we
because of it,
there.
and because of it, we're gonna get more characters in the style of She-Hulk. I'm not saying it could be a guy too that they treat this way. It was the writing. I'm not talking about the character.
Yeah,
that style of writing again, because people loved it. And it won't be until you get to get to the Avengers, where all of a sudden you're gonna realize none of this has any weight to it.
Yeah, none of this mattered. None of it carried on.
Because yeah, like it sounds fun right now, and like keep eating snacks, but at the end when you get your steak and you're full already.
Yeah, you've been eating breadsticks all evening.
Yeah, so where is it gonna be your moment? And then you hear those rumors that for Secret Wars, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, in a lot of these players are
don't
be
even
back.
want them to come back. For
If they come back, Phase 4 was a complete useless disaster because all of a sudden none of those characters are going to matter because only those
ones popped up, and again it would fly in the face of what Tony did. Even if it's a variant, I don't care.
Yeah. Seeing
him on screen again, if it's a variant, go with the Loki and Spider-Man version where they look different.
Yeah,
because endings matter, guys. Like they do. Endings matter, and it's okay for certain aspects of something to end while other aspects carry on, and vice versa. It's okay for things from the past to remain and not necessarily change. As long as the story fits, if the ending is right, let it end. Vader being redeemed by his son and help overcome and defeating the Sith, that should have remained. We didn't need Papa Palpatine to come back. Tony snapping his fingers to "I am Iron Man." Perfect. There's nothing else that ever needs to be done with Robert Downey Jr. on screen.
Or Chris, or Captain America. For that sake.
And handing that off to Sam and having Evans come back in a Stars and Stripes outfit with Sam on camera too would totally reduce.
Unless you haven't come back as Hydra.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Do you remember how mad everybody was at Nick Spencer?
Well, it was a goofy storyline regardless. To make it the original, if you I mean, everything was undone in the end anyways guys, that's gonna do it for us today at a 50-minute episode. Get off our lawn. No, stay here on our lawn. Hit the red subscribe button on our YouTube lawn. Hit the follow button on your favorite podcast app like Spotify or Google or Stitcher. You got great shows covering anime, Star Wars, Marvel, anything and everything you can imagine in an entertainment, geek, and pop culture via Breaking Geek and the Daily Cup of Genre. Everything goes up on the website lrmonline.com, along with written reviews, articles, news articles, leaks, rumors, and celebrity interviews. So check those out. Look, there's Cam and I talking Andor episode 7. Please watch Andor and tell Disney you want more stuff like Andor on the Cantina. And I will, like I said, hopefully all things going well, nothing bad happening, be at the LA premiere for the One Piece film Red, and I hope I will be posting some photos and videos and stuff on both my Twitter and the Genreverse Twitter. So that's at that Kyle Malone and at the Genreverse. Manny, where can people find you at?
They can find me at Manny Gomez Media on Twitter, and they can find me at RealMeThis_510 on Instagram. Fun fact for the day: today is the 55th year anniversary of the original famous Bigfoot film from Northern California. And so if you see Bigfoot, wave hi, and just remember that Bigfoot believes in you.
Bye.